Hey guys, Papa Dan here again. Or actually in this episode, I guess we should say Papa Dandai. As you can tell by the display here next to me. We'll get into what this is all about here in just a second. First thing I want to mention though is finally got with the surgeon who is going to be doing the operation on my colon. And the operation is scheduled for November 30th. He gave me a choice of either the Wednesday before Thanksgiving or the Wednesday after Thanksgiving. And I looked at him and I said, well, I think I'd kind of like to enjoy my Thanksgiving dinner, thank you very much. So I took the Wednesday after Thanksgiving. So anyways, with that being said, I will be at Acme this year. I will be coming to Acme. So, unfortunately, Caleb cannot come this year. He's going to be at his deadbeat dad's house. Excuse me, I got a little something in my throat there. So anyways, unfortunately, Caleb can't make it this year. But I tried, and we couldn't get weekends switched and juggled around and everything. Some particular deadbeat dad was being a little unreasonable. Sorry about that cough. Let me take a sip of drink here. Enough of that. On to the reason of this video. A couple of people have asked me, Half Fast being one. This video is the one that you've been waiting for, buddy. Sorry it took me so long to get it up, but things have just been crazy at work lately. But a couple of people have asked me if I would do a video kind of explaining the differences between all the different Gundams. I kind of touched on this a little bit in one back in my archive, but I'll try to go a little more in depth here for this one without making it too long of a video. But I'll do the best I can. Colonel Reb. Anyways, as you see here, we've got all the different sizes. But starting off right here, we have the small SDs. Then we go into the SDs don't really have a scale. They're just kind of little guys. Then we get into the 1/144th scale. And those can either be HG, which is high grade, or RG, which is real grade. And I'll go into a little bit of what each scale means here in just a second. The next one down here is the master grade, which is MG, and those are 1/100 scale. And then the last one down here is the perfect grade, or the PG, and that's a 1/60th scale. So let's go back to the beginning here and start with the little SDs. This is one of the SD boxes. In fact, this is one that Caleb had built. But it's not your typical SD box. They're normally a little smaller in a box. This one just had, I guess you could kind of say, an abnormally high part count for that size Gundam. But I made myself a little cheat sheet here, some notes so I wouldn't forget anything. SDs usually come with about 20 to 30 parts. They, as you can see, articulation is pretty much nada. They don't have a whole lot of articulation. The arms will move. The head will have a little bit of movement in it. And the legs will move back and forth. And a little bit with the foot. But they're just really cool looking little guys. I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one makes 5. I've got 5 of the SDs. and I really like them. This is the little red frame SD, and the I really like this the red frame Gundam. In fact, you'll see here that I've got all the red frame Gundams in each size, because I just really like that. So that's an SD Gundam. Then moving up to the high grade, the HGs, and the real grade, and those are both 1/144 scale. Now the high grade, which would be like this guy here, as you can see, they're a little bigger. And what I'll do here, just to kind of give you a comparison up close, my Diet Coke can, in a Michigan Coolie, of course. So you can kind of get an idea of their size. But articulation is a lot more than what it is in the SDs. You got your knees, your arms can go back and forth, elbows, and hands will rotate. You've got movement in the hip, and of course the head will move. And the part counts in the HGs run roughly between 100 and 200 parts, depending on the kit. So that's an HG. Then in the 1/144 scale, you can go up to an RG, which is a real grade, and again just with the Coke can so you can see the size there. Now these guys will run slightly more in parts, again depending on the kit, but the articulation and the detail in these guys is a lot more than what the HGs are. You have a lot more movement in these, although this one is really stiff. But the movement normally is a whole lot more in the real grades. And this is the red frame real grade. And a lot of your real grades will have a full internal skeleton, which your HGs don't have. So that's your real grade. Now moving up in size, you would go up to the master grade, which is a 1/100 scale. Now something I want to mention with this, the parts counts for the master grade will be anywhere between 200 and 700 parts, again depending on the kit. But as you can see here, and again I'll show you this one with the Coke can next to it, so you can kind of get an idea here. They are quite a bit bigger than the 1/144 scale, but in the end master grade line they can get rather large, as you can tell by this guy. These are both master grades, both 1/100 scale, but you can tell that there's quite a bit of size difference between them. And I'll show you this one next to the Coke can, again just so that you can get an idea of the size there. Now with the master grades, you are going to have a full internal skeleton on them, and the articulation on these guys is really cool. I mean, their knees will bend all the way up. You've got good articulation in their feet. In fact, the toes, that part of the foot will go up or back down, and you've got movement in the ankles. So I mean, you can do a lot of poses if you're really into the poses with your Gundams. You got some movement in the waist, again with the head, the arms, like the shoulder, and the waist. The shoulders on a lot of them will come forward a little bit, but the arms will swing around. Shoulder in the elbows here, and in the hands. And some of your master grades will come with actual fingers that you can pose, and some of them don't have them, but it's really simple to just cut the individual fingers out, and then you'll have fully posable hands to hold on to weapons. So that's the master grade. And again, you in the detail of these guys is just really, really amazing. I'll show you on this one here. This is my favorite size or grade of Gundam, is the 1/100s, the master grades. That's what I build the most of. But those will open on both legs. And then, let's see, what else does this guy do? He does all kinds of stuff. His sword will actually fold up on his shoulder here somehow, if I can remember how to open everything up. It's been a while since I played with this guy. He's got all kinds of weapons on him, cannons and everything else. Now this one I did do, this one is a custom paint job that I did. I completely painted this guy. So, but anyways, that's a master grade. Now, getting into the big boys. This guy here that you see, this is a 1/60th scale or perfect grade. And again, I'll show you with the Diet Coke can here. In fact, I got to back it up a little bit just so you can get the whole thing in the frame. Now these guys are really cool. I really, really enjoyed building this one, and I cannot wait to build that one. Actually, this is the perfect grade, or I'm sorry, this one here is the master grade red frame, and that one is the perfect grade red frame. Those two I still need to do yet, and then I'll have all my red frames actually built, and I'll have them all displayed together. But these guys are really fun. The parts are a lot bigger. Part counts on the perfect grades are anywhere between 700 and 1,000 parts. So you see a box that is that big, that box comes full of parts. You can go back and look in my archive of when I first started building this guy, and I've got a couple of pictures in there of just the sprues spread out on my workbench here, and it's crazy number of sprues. I think it was like, for this one, I believe it was somewhere in the neighborhood of about 30, 33, 34, 35 sprues, something like that. But the articulation on these guys, it's amazing. But the knees will bend like all the way back up. And as you can tell, you actually have, if you watch right here, you actually have moving parts as they, because the armor that is over the skeleton will move with the skeleton. So I mean, it's awesome. But the foot, you have good articulation in the ankles, and again, you can watch the, you can see the armor moving here with the foot. The hands and arms, and again, you can see the armor moving here with the arms. Hopefully, and I just took his arm off. Oh no! I broke his arm. But that's something I hadn't touched on yet. All of these Gundams are snapped together. You don't have, I've not used, well, I take that back. On one Bandai kit that I built, it was the one of the jets from the other series that Bandai does. Space 2199, I think it's called, or something like that. That I had to use maybe 3-4 drops of glue on that one, and that's the only glue that I've ever used on a Bandai kit. Bandai makes excellent kits as far as the fit. They are so far and above everybody on the market for their snap type kits. There is on any of my Gundams, there is no glue at all, none. But he has, this one will have, all his fingers are individual. Each finger is individually, and you can actually bend the fingers closed, and his thumb here. But you can actually bend them closed to hold on to weapons. So it's just amazing articulation. A lot of your perfect grade Gundams will either come with LED lighting, or they are set up internally so that you can add it if you want to. This guy came with it. If I can get the back of his helmet off here, I'll show you, because that's where the switch is for it. And of course it's going to be stubborn. Now if it'll show up, you can see where his eyes have lit up, and the camera on top of his head is also lit up there. So, and again, that was supplied in the kit. So, and the what else was I going to say about these guys? I lost my train of thought. But anyways, that's just kind of a quick review. Oh, I know what I was going to say. The perfect grades, and some of the master grades I think do this also, but you can open it up here, and I don't know if I'll get it close enough to where you can actually see it or not, but inside of there, if you look real close, you can see the pilot's legs. You actually get a pilot that will fit inside of there. So, which is pretty cool. But that's a perfect grade 1/60th scale. Now the only other thing that I wanted to show you real quick, and we'll jump back to the little SD, is the instruction manuals that come with them. I mean, for an SD, that's it. That's your instruction manual. So it's all of 10 steps and you're done. Caleb can build one of these SDs in probably 30 minutes to an hour. So including the stickers. And again, and that's something else that I wanted to mention about Bandai kits. Their stickers are great. You put them on, they stay on, they fit, they go right where they're supposed to go. No issues with their stickers at all. So, but that's the SD. The HD is a little more because you have obviously a little more parts. But that would be your instructions for the SD. And then you've got, another nice thing about Bandai is you also have paint callouts here in the back. So if you want to paint them and you want to paint them the original color, you can. They have the paint callouts right here. But they also come molded in colors. So it's not necessary to paint them. In fact, I have painted a few. Like I said, this Heavy Arms is, he's completely custom painted. The Perfect Grade one that I just showed you is probably half painted, maybe 3/4 painted. But out of these, that's it. I paint very few of mine. Just I like the colors that they come in, so I just leave them the way they are. But that's the HG instructions. Now the real grade instructions, you're getting more into a book, again only because of the number of parts that you have. So you're getting more into a book type instructions. And your decals are here. Your stickers, either or. Some kits do come with decals, but here's your paint callouts down here on the bottom. So that's your real grade. Then your master grade, you're definitely into a book. You have, and something else that they do on all of their kits is it shows you your different sprues that you're supposed to have, and it gives you the part numbers on each part for the for that. Let me get that just so you can kind of get an idea there. And then at the start of each one, like this one, you're doing the body and head unit, it will tell you right here which sprues you're going to need to complete this assembly. So that's kind of nice. So for the head unit, this you're going to need A, C, K, and the PC, which is the little joints that they have. But that's your instructions for the master grade. So for this particular one, there was 26 steps for this particular master grade. Then getting into the perfect grade, that's a book, and like almost a novel. Again, and this is for the red frame. Let's see, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 sprues, plus a couple of extra parts. that are not on sprues that'll be bagged separately. Looks like this one will come with a, because this is the first time I've been looking at this, looks like this one will come with an LED light just like that guy did. So that's really cool. But their instructions are very, very easy to follow. Very easy to follow. Even though the writing itself is in Japanese, you don't need it. You don't need to read it. Looking at the pictures is perfectly okay. I mean, you can get anything off of the pictures that you need. So that would be the perfect grade. If anybody has any questions or anything about any of the different grades, please, feel free to leave a comment down below. I'll be glad to help you out any way I can. Don't forget, we have our Bandai group build that's still going on. That goes on until the end of the year. And there is also a Facebook page for the Bandai group build. So, how far did I go here? Oh no, 26 minutes. I'm sorry, Colonel. I tried. I was talking fast and everything. But anyways, that's it. Again, if you have any questions, if I kind of skipped over anything, or if you didn't understand anything, feel free to leave a comment down below. I'll be glad to get with you and help you out any way I can. All right? For those of you that are going to be at Acme, we'll see you next weekend. All right? Y'all have a good week, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.